Sonoma, California is the location for stop number 13 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series, and the last race and the last stop before we get to the All-Star Race weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And here we are today for the running, of the Fram Autolite 300K as we're set for 17 laps of action on this 2.52 mile racetrack here. Long, twisty, and turny is what this track is at Sonoma, California. On the pole, it is the winner at Martinsville, Jessica Shelton, the queen of the road here in this series. She's in the number 11 Boaz 4. She won at Martinsville this season, as we mentioned. She's alongside Seth Cole, car 25, the Flat Out Racing Network Chevrolet. Jess has one of her in-car cameras in today's race. Second row sees Levi McIntyre, number 99 Marvel Studios WWE Zeb Bellringer SKF Ford. Gotta get that out of one breath. And he's on the inside of this row. And Levi won the season at Nashville. He's alongside Charles Sanford, car 03, the Vanilla Coke Chevrolet. Charles trying to win one in front of his hometown bands at Sonoma. And this is the second straight race we've been in California, by the way, too, as we would come off the race at Auto Club Speedway. Next row down sees car number 2, Dylan Young, and then the Miller 4. He won the season at Homestead. He's alongside Zach Rogers, the winner at Atlanta this season, the Burger King Dodge. Next row has Kyle Matthews, who won at North Wilkesboro this season, the Mellow Yellow Pontiac. He's alongside Trent Dunneman, car number 1, the Seca Chevrolet. Next row has Angel Navarro in 44 and number 89, Quentin Moore. Quentin won at Texas this season. Held off Navarro to win that race by way 2. Next row sees Cole Beaver in car number 3 and is alongside his brother Tyler in car number 24, the DuPont Chevrolet. Neither driver have won yet this season. Can they do it today? We'll find out. Next row is car number 16, Johnny Gardner in an Enio Chevrolet. He's alongside Joshua Osborne in car number 10, the driven the Honor Chevrolet, the Jennifer Jo Cobb Special. Gardner has won twice this season. He won at Rockingham and Bristol. Next row is Cole Baker in car 20 and car number 39, the Daytona 500 winner, Keith Batson in the Motorcraft Ford. Next row, Rob Evans in number 19, the Napa Power Enio Chevrolet. And Kate Anderson in car 88, the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. Next row is Zachary Fitzwater in 59, the Marina Fox Foundation Dodge. He's alongside car number 4. It's William Brock in the Synovus Bank Chevrolet. Next row, Phil Parker in car number 5, the Quaker State Chevrolet. The Raging Cajun himself, he's alongside number 70, Cat Batson in the Jelly Belly Jelly Beans Ford. Next row has Dylan Poteet in 22 and Kev Shear in 69. Kev won a season at Richmond. Poteet's yet to win this season, by the way, too. Next row has Ty Dent in 76 and number 12, Mitchell Collins in the Pennzoil Dodge. Next row is car number 97, Zach Winkle in the John Deere Ford. He's alongside car number 41, Taylor Gertis in the Sheets Chevrolet. Next row is car number 84, Cassie Dent in the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn Ford. She's alongside car number 01. It is Jake Emerson in the U.S. Army Jimmy John's Ford, Chevrolet. Next row, Jake Jefferson in 48, number 91, Jordan Anderson. Next row down has Ryan George in 30, and number 52, Mason Wood. Next row, Matt Haas in car number 8 in the Speed Raceway Pontiac. He's alongside car number 14, Matt McIntyre in the Advanced Auto Parts Chevrolet. Advanced Auto Parts Ford, excuse me. Next row, Jesse Turner in 17, and number 18, it is Nathan Hudson. Jesse won the season over at California, the last race in the Tour. And starting shotgun the field will be car 43, Mike Becker in the STP Pontiac, and number 42, Nicky Martinez in the Mikusuki Lounge Pontiac. We are starting the race. Ville's going to get the command on the S's here at Sonoma. Here, as you'll realize, this is around turn 8 is where we're at here at Sonoma Raceway, as opposed to the usual getting the command on pit road as we have in past races. We'll get back to that at the race at Charlotte, but on the road courses this season, unless noted, as at least I know Sonoma, Watkins Glen, and Riverside will be given the command off of pit road. So that's ladies and gentlemen, start your engines, by the way, because there's a woman on the front row for this race, on the pole, I should say. But Sonoma, Riverside, and Watkins Glen will be doing our commands on track instead of being on pit road. And meantime, Zachary Fitzwater's car would not start, and he is sitting on pit road. So a mechanical failure on the number 59 Marina Fox Foundation Dodge there. So Fitzwater, who won the season at Talladega in an exciting finish to the Winston 500, well, his day, unfortunately for him, will not. It will not be unfortunately. It'll unfortunately for him not be his day. Obviously at Sonoma, California. So on the pole, there you see Jessica Shelton and Seth Cole leading him down to the green flag here. Seth Cole trying to punch his ticket into the All-Star race here. Jessica Shelton already is in by virtue of being the series champion. As the green flag flies, we're underway in the Phantom Light 300K at Sonoma. Mentioned Jessica Shelton as one of her in-car cameras in today's race here. The other two being carried by Charles Sanford and Cole Deaver. Those are our three in-car cameras for today's race here today. As Sonoma, Shelton did not get off the. Shelton got snookered on turn one on that start, and Seth Cole is going to pull out ahead. Charles Sanford goes to second place. Shelton to third. Fourth now to Levi McIntyre, and fifth to Zach Rogers. As they go through turn number 6. Seth coming off that 6th corner here as he comes down for turn number 7. That's I should say the first hairpin corner. And Seth gets over there about maybe 45 miles an hour through there in first gear. See the two red cars there right there together. Both of them drink sponsors. One Coca-Cola and the other Budweiser. On his cars here. Shelton getting a good run on Samer going through the S's through turn number 9, now through turn 10. But here they come for the second hairpin. That's turn number 11 here. And Charles goes here all the way down to about 37 miles an hour in first gear. And Seth Cole will lead the first lap of this race here. First lap at 92.59 miles an hour. Pole speed was 95 miles an hour, set by Jessica Shelton. Riding on board with Charles Sanford in car number 03 as he maneuvers his way around this track at Sonoma. Up ahead, Seth Cole, the leader of this race, obviously in that green and white Chevy. I should say Charles going up through turn number 5. There's turn 6. That's the carousel version, of course, and Charles shoves it down to second gear now. Almost red, and was past a red line portion right there, up to 145 miles an hour, and shoves it down to, well, 100 miles an hour slower than that. They're up down to, as we mentioned, 45 miles an hour in first gear. Now you go through the S's. That's where your speed comes from, by the way, on the S's, believe it or not. Now you go through 8A right here. Now he'll flat-foot it through turn number 9. Up to 138 miles an hour in that section right there. Then down to about 102. Off turn number 10. And here he comes, turn number 11. Here we go. And down to about 39 miles an hour in first gear through turn number 11. Down through turn number 12 he goes. Charles's lap there telling it about 94.6 miles per hour here. And he'll go up to about 133 miles an hour before he has to break through turn number 2 right there. And down to about 51 miles an hour here. Now you ride with Jessica Shelton. And see how she maneuvers around this racetrack here at Sonoma. Saw how Charles drives this track here. Now Jess goes through turn number 4. One of the heavy braking zones right through this area right here. Shelton through turn number 5. Plays with all just a little bit now up and down the hill through turn number 6. And Jess goes down as low as 87 miles per hour through that area here. That's about what Charles was doing through turn number 6. And down through turn number 7, see how fast she goes through there, down to about 46 miles an hour, so she's a little bit faster than Charles through that 7th corner, but not by much. Her and Charles trying to close up on Seth Cole through the turns here. And down through turn number 10 she goes here. That's how she drives turn number 11 now. Down about 38 miles an hour through turn number 11. Now through turn number 12 she goes. Foot flat through the floor. So that's a comparison between those two drivers here as far as how they drive these tracks here at Sonoma Raceway here. Jess was a slight bit slower than Charles in the last time by 94.65 to 94.52. But right now, this man's setting the pace here. Seth Cole leading this race here. Zachary Fitzwater's back on the track right now. By the way, he's a minute and 9 seconds back. So, and right now Shelton holds the fastest lap of the race at 94.68 miles per hour. So. But right now, Seth Cole has a very substantial lead right now at just a little over 1 second as he makes his way through turn number 7. Looks can be deceiving though. 1 second on other tracks there seems like a big gap though, but on the road course it seems like it's a lot closer than that. And honestly, I think the main reason why because of obviously the speeds they run on a track where the speed fluctuates a bit through the turns. Not to mention the elevation changes kind of plays a big role too. But right now it's Seth Cole the leader, as we mentioned, and we'll take you through the field here. Sanford second, third is Shelton, fourth is Levi McIntyre. He's not known as a road racer though, but he's usually but today having a pretty good run here in the Marvel Studios Ford. Zach Rogers runs 5th position, 6th is Trent Dunham, 7th is Quentin Moore. Dylan Young runs in 8th. Kyle Matthews matches his car number, runs in 9th. And 10th position right now belonging to Tyler Deaver in driving the Jeff Gordon cars here in this race. He'll be running the Pepsi scheme next race on the tour for the Winston Ultra race at Charlotte, but then revert back to the DuPont scheme for the 600. 11th right now is Angel Navarro. 12th is Joshua Osborne in the Jennifer Jo Cobb special, driven to honor Chevrolet. 13th is the Daytona 500 winner, Keith Batson in the Motorcraft Ford. 14th is Cole Deaver. 15th right now is Cole Baker, as he tries to close up on Deaver's car right now, as now he does close up on Deaver going into turn number 7, but turn number 7, he stays kind of on the back of Deaver's car, kind of. Rob Evans is in 18th position right now, or 16th position. Behind him is his buddy Johnny Gardner in 17th. Johnny, the only 2-time winner this season so far. He won at Rockingham, the second race of the season, and then took home the race at Bristol Motor Speedway in the Food City 500. After getting caught up in a wreck earlier in that race, and Johnny would probably tell you that's probably one of the best drives he's ever had, trying to come back after that and win that race at Bristol. Behind Gardner in 17th is Phil Parker. 18th is Dylan Poteet. 19th right now is Ty Dent, and 19th is Dylan Poteet. 18th is Phil Parker. 19th is Poteet. 20th is Ty Dent. Kate Anderson runs 21st. 22nd is William Brock. 23rd is Cassie Dent, Ty's wife. 24th right now is Zach Winkle. 25th is Kat Batson in the Jelly Belly Special. 26th is Jay Jefferson. 27th is Kev Shearer. He, like Shelton, did not get off to a good start on that race as well, too, as he drops back in the Waste Management Special. He'll be back in the Lemu, Emu, and Doug colors, by the way, for the race at Charlotte in the 600. I should say also for the All-Star race, I should say, not for the 600. Mitchell Collins, who has had kind of an up and down season so far here. Collins runs in 28th in the Pennzoil Special here. Collins hopes to get his team turned around though by the time we get as we go through the course of the season. 29th is Ryan George. 30th is Taylor Gertis. 31st right now is Jake Emerson. 32nd is Jordan Anderson. Talk about your peaks and valleys, though. Jesse Turner, who come off of that big win at Auto Club Speedway in California, though he runs 33rd right now in Sonoma, so this track not treating him all the best, unlike it did at the race at Auto Club Speedway here when we beat out Jessica Shelton in that tremendous classic battle for the win in that race. Turner, not so much of a good run right now. He's in 33rd. 34th right now is Matt Haas. 35th is Mason Wood. Mike Becker, 36th. Nicky Martinez, 37th. Matt McIntyre, 38th. And Nathan Hudson in 39th. And poor Zachary Fitzwater, whose car failed to fire on the start. Well, he gets to hear the sound of that Dodge engine of his there all by his lonesome as he runs in 40th position, dead last in the field. At least he's running right now and still on the and the good news is he's still on the good news is he's still running. Good news is he's still on the lead lap. Bad news, he's dead last right now and about let's see how far he is right now as he's crossed our finish line this time by. He is 68.84 seconds back, so that's comparing to 24.9 back in the leader of Nathan Hudson. Sadly for Fitzwater, he's a good 44 seconds back of 39th place. So tough luck for the Fitzwater team right there, because he had high hopes of running really good here in today's race. Right now, Seth Cole, though, still holding on that lead, though, looking to punch his ticket into the All-Star race here. He's, like I said, he's not yet won, and trying to avoid making it, trying to make his way into the All-Star race via the Winston Open, the last chance qualifier for the All-Star race. But Charles Samper right now, he hopes to try to get Seth and get his first victory of the season here. Charles is already in the All-Stars, by the way, by virtue of being the Season 15 champion. Again, you're on board with Charles Samper right now in second position here. But he's already in the All-Stars by virtue of being the Season 15 champion of this series. And in fact, his win in one of his wins in Season 15 was, in fact, right here in Sonoma. But right now, Charles looking strong right now so far here. There's the look from inside Jessica Shelton's car. Jess runs third right now. Slipped a little bit going into turn number 12, turn number 11, I should say. Excuse me. There's turn 12 as she's going through right now. That completes lap number 8. We have 9 to go here at Sonoma. And there's a look from Cole Deaver's view. He's our third in-car camera for this race here today. He's in 14th position right now. Talking about Cole Deaver, the GM Goodwrench Chevy. Deaver, the season 21 series champion. He won that championship after heartbreakingly losing it in season 20 on the finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. And of course, he's not the only driver who's done that in this series, obviously, but staying close behind Keith Batson, up ahead of him, Batson, Osborne, Navarro, and Cole's brother Tyler up there in number 24. And running just ahead of another Cole Baker in the $20 general card. There is Tyler Deaver in 24. He runs in 10th position right now, trying to catch Kyle Matthews for 9th. All the while trying to hold off the number 44 car of Angel Navarro. There he is in the Z-Line Designs, New York Rangers Pontiac. He's put together a very formidable operation. I will say that Navarro is the leader of the team, obviously. So thus some would say he gets the best equipment out of the two-car team of he and Nicky Martinez. And whoa, Deaver slipped going into turn number 12, turn number 11. That's Tower Deaver. Navarro peeked the nose underneath right there. See what happens in the turn number 12, and now into turn number 1 he goes. Closed up coming out of 11 though, but lost a little bit of ground going into 1. So there's the good look at Quentin Moore and the Boss Hog Barbecue Sauce racing for Jesus Ford, the man who won at Texas this season. There, Quentin, of course, the Vending Series champion. Drove the number 21 Morgan Shepherd, of course, the victory last season. And last time he was on a road course, Quentin won over at Watkins Glen. There he is running in 7th position right now. Up ahead of him, Trent Dunham in 6th in the Sega Sonic the Hedgehog machine. Dunham trying to close up on the back of the car of Zach Rogers in the number 6 car. Rogers running in 5th. 4th is Levi McIntyre. He's leading this pack of cars here. McIntyre 6 seconds back of the leader, by the way, which is Seth Cole. And Levi's coming in the pits. Levi McIntyre coming on pit road as he sacrifices 4th position. Let's see what's going on with his car. Didn't seem like anything was going wrong with his car. That is a killer right there. 35 miles an hour on pit road. And look at all those cars and points passing him. So on the pit road goes the season 25 series champion, and he comes in for an unscheduled pit stop here in the Marvel Studios Ford. He's going to go for all 4 tires there. So apparently a tire failure on the number 99 Marvel Studios WWE Zeb Bellringer Ford. And that's going to drop him down to 39th position here. So only ahead of, obviously, of Zachary Fitzwater. So tough break for Levi McIntyre in the number 99 Marvel Studios Ford here. Meantime, back to the leaders. It is Seth Cole trying to hold off the challenge of Charles Samper and Jessica Shelton. Charles and Jess are in a bit of a draft here. That's a term we don't normally hear on a road course, but they are kind of in a Talladega draft somewhat here. Let's check the speeds this time by here. Seth was slower than Charles the last time by. There goes Seth. Here comes Charles. And Seth gained the position, gained some time the last time by. 92 hundredths of a second. It was 69 hundredths the last time. No, 65 hundredths the last time by, excuse me. So Charles lost about almost 3/10 of a second the last time by. So you got 3 states represented here in this pack of cards here. The man from the Northeast, Seth Cole, leading the pack right here from the state of New York here. Not New York City, but New York State, rather. He lives nowhere near the Big Apple, I might add. Charles Stanford, the man from the southern part of California. Right there on the Pacific coast right here is where he's from here. And Jessica Shelton from way down the deep south in South Carolina. Running in 3rd position right now. Jess fell back a bit there from Sanford right there. She was up on his back bumper the last time by there, but Shelton coming down into turn number 11 right here. And Jess was really slow through turn number 11. She was 36 miles an hour going through turn number 11. And yeah, she has got a problem. She fell way back. Yeah, I suspect there's a problem with the number 11 Carter Shelton, who started this race from the pole. And I'm sure she's going to be a little bit frustrated inside that car, wondering what in the world has now suddenly happened to that car. Trying to nurse it home now too. There, Zach Rogers is now runs in 4th position. 5th is Dunham. 6th is Dylan Young. 7th is Quentin Moore. 8th is Kyle Matthews. 9th is now Tyler Deaver. And 10th is Angel Navarro. And Rogers is closing up on Shelton, by the way, too, there. So, I mean, he was almost 5 seconds back of Shelton the last time by. Let's see if he closes up this time by. There is Zach in number 6, the Burger King Dodge. Nothing going wrong for that car yet. We'll check and see if Jess comes down pit road. And I thought she was going to the last time by, but considering the problem she had in her car, yep, there she is. She's coming down pit road this time by. So the queen of the road, maybe dethroned here so the queen of the throne dethroned for the time being at Sonoma, California. As she comes down pit road here, I guess she'll probably say the same setup she had for Riverside, but she is unfortunately snake bit at Sonoma, California here. She comes down pit road. Let's see if same problem. She had a tire failure, it looks like, on her car. Same thing that's knocked Levi McIntyre out of contention. And she's going to go for all 4 tires or so. And here comes McIntyre, I think, coming down this time by. And that'll drop Jess back to 38th position right now. She was running in 3rd when the tire failure happened. McIntyre was running 4th when the tire failure happened. And, I think Charles Sanford just took the lead. Yep, there's Charles Sanford. He just took the lead from Seth Cole. And Seth Cole, I think, has got problems. Oh, Seth Cole, the leader of the race. He's got problems, and he has got... And I don't think this is a tire failure he's got. Seth Cole on the apron on the track here. Jessica Shelton goes by. So Jess finally does pass him, but not for the lead. McIntyre's going by 2. Seth Cole looked like he has taken punch for the All-Star race, and now he's going to have to rely on the last chance qualifier, the Winston Open. Oh, what a heartbreak for the number 25 team. Seems like for Seth Cole, when it rains, it pours for him, too. Seems like, because it's almost like what else can go wrong? He looked like last season, you remember, looked like he had Richmond 1 until problems set in until he got passed on the last lap in that race by Keith Badson. And now Seth led the most laps today at Sonoma. That's the good news. Bad news is he's not going to win Sonoma unless something really goes wrong for everybody else. But the California Crusher out in front, Charles Sanford, who's had 2nd place finishes the last few races in season 26 there. He looks to be in pretty good shape at the moment. I should say this is season 27, not 26, excuse me. Here, 26 was actually Charles looks to be in pretty good shape here at the moment here at Sonoma, unless the same problems as befall him as it did everybody else here in the top 5. Charles may look like he could be on his way to victory. He's got it on cruise control right now. And Charles's lead right now has ballooned big time. It's now 7.26 seconds in front of Zach Rogers in second place. But you know, Zach's gonna be wondering, is gonna be hoping for a little bit of problem out of Charles's car, as it did with Seth, Jess, and Levi. Oh my God, that is heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking for those. That's heartbreaking for those three drivers. That definitely, because they were all running top five when it all happened. And so you wonder if the same problem befalls Sanford or Rogers or any of the others in the top five spots as it did for those three drivers here. You hope not for those guys too. And I know some people I know some people kind of hear me commentate like this, and I'm thinking to myself, and you're thinking to yourselves, he's just hoping on everybody else. Au contraire, no, I am not. You know, you want to see everything going. You have everything going so much, and then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, just all falls down for everybody else. But for Charles Sammer, he hopes his car holds on one more lap because he's coming through turn number 11 for the white flag. Charles Sammer has won this racetrack twice before. And here he comes for the white flag. He has one lap remaining in the Vanilla Coke Chevrolet. And there's turn number, and Charles's lead has ballooned up to 7.4 seconds now. Taking it through there as carefully as he can here. He's a little slow through that fourth turn of the racetrack here. Nothing going on for everybody else right now here as they go through turn number 6 here. Charles flies through that area here. Now off turn number 7, or turn number 6, I should say. Now he heads for turn number 7. and down to 46 miles an hour in that area. And it was a engine failure that's knocked Seth Cole out of the race. There was a piston failure on the number 25 car that's knocked him, unfortunately, from the win to dead last in this race. And like I said, heartbreaker for Seth Cole. Led the most laps, had the race won until an engine failure nailed him, much almost like almost about like what happened to Jerry Nadeau in this race in 2002, which I'm still heartbroken over myself. But the one who's not going to get as heartbroken is the man driving number 03 Coca-Cola Vanilla Chevrolet. He'll run through turn number 12. Charles Sanford wins at Sonoma. He wins the Fram Autolite 300K. Zach Rogers comes home second. Third to Trent Dunham. Fourth to Dylan Young. Fifth to Quentin Moore. Sixth, Kyle Matthews. Seventh was Tyler Deaver. Eighth was Angel Navarro. Ninth, Joshua Osborne. And 10th will go to Keith Badson. And the pace car's on pit road. What the heck just happened? And there is, without doubt, two of the frustrated drivers here, Levi McIntyre and Jessica Shelton. They just now take the checker flag. McIntyre will come home 37th. Shelton will come home. McIntyre will come home 37th, and Shelton will come home 36th. And it's Cole Deaver, car number 3, another one who was running up there in the race there. What happened to Deaver? Let's take a look at what happened to Cole Deaver. He was running 11th, trying to chase down Keith Badson. Oh, and he had problems on his number 3 Goodwrench Chevy just as he goes through turn number 6, and so another mechanical failure that's knocked everybody out. That's knocked Deaver out, and he stalls off the exit of turn number 6. And it's happening on the last lap of the race for Cole Deaver. I mean, just absolutely heartbreaking. Like I said, you just hate to see that for anybody else, though. For anybody, I should say, in this race here. And Deaver's not going to finish this race, unfortunately for him. So Deaver will end up finishing 39th in this race here, but margin of victory 7.19 seconds at the margin of victory at Sonoma. So race, I know it's a shameful pun, but race number 13 of the season kind of brought bad luck for everybody else, it seems like. Except for, obviously, the winner and, well, whoever ran good. We gave you the top 10 already in this race here. 11th was Cole Baker. 12th will go to Rob Evans. 13th, Johnny Gardner. 14th, Phil Parker. Then Dylan Poteet was 15th, tied in 16th. Kate Anderson, 17th. 18th will go to William Brock. 19th, Cassie Dent, and 20th will go to Zach Winkle. 21st will go to Kat Batson. Then Jay Jefferson, Kev Shear, Mitchell Collins, Ryan George, Taylor Gertis, Jake Emerson, Jordan Anderson, Matt Haas, and Jesse Turner the top 30. Then the rest of the finishers on the lead lap at least. Mason Wood, Mike Becker, Nikki Martinez, Matt McIntyre, Nathan Hudson, and then two of the heartbreakers right there, Jessica Shelton and Levi McIntyre, 36 and 37 perspective, as we mentioned before. Just imagine the points they probably could have gotten if they had stayed where they were at, though. Maybe, possibly, consider what all happened in this race, too. Zachary Fitzwater was 38th. He was the last car to finish on the lead lap. Cole Deaver, heartbreaker on the final lap, had trouble with the car. He will be credited one lap down in this race in 39th position, but at least he was not Seth Cole, who had the race won, basically. Was leading with 3 laps remaining, and a piston failure. And for all intents and purposes, is an engine failure for Seth Cole that knocked him right out of the race. So just, I don't know what to say. Just absolutely just craziness that happened today at Sonoma, California. And we always mention how things can change sometimes in some of the races. So, and this race definitely is proof of that, though. I mean, I will definitely say that. But so Seth Cole went from having a spot locked in for the All-Star race at Charlotte. Well, we'll have to now rely on the Winston Open, the last chance qualifier, to have to do so. You kind of hate to do that, though, knowing you had a race that probably could have won. But for Charles Sanford, he's not complaining because he benefits from that whole deal, too, as he wins today at Sonoma, California. And if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel. We got internet, we got gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA, Seth Cole desires for his channel. Be sure to check out Seth's Store Sell Cup Series, which is also on this channel too. I guarantee his races are a whole lot better than what I have to offer too. We also have some in our online races as well too. So that will do it here today from Sonoma, California. Here for now, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. We will see you at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Winston All-Star Weekend.